Good morning. Welcome to Grumpy Brit in the Philippines. It's John here. I think we've all, well, most of us who travelled anyway, know the feeling of paid for your hotel, paid for your holiday, so to speak, and the feeling of, for a short period of time, no more worries about council tax, no more worries about credit card payments due now, power bills, telephone accounts, hire purchase agreements. Many of those things we've all dealt with at some point in our lives. Of course, there's always some that will always say, oh, I always pay cash. But generally speaking, we had everyday experiences of paying regular envelopes that used to appear every day through the letterbox. That's, of course, if you have a postal service where you were living. In Australia, sadly, Australia Post has almost become obsolete, only really to be in competition with all of the courier companies. But what I'm meaning is that when we're on holiday, we're exempt from those for just a period of our lives, a couple of weeks maybe, whatever we've chosen to be our package tour. And we're more concerned with beaches, wining and dining, having a good time, building up memories of the 2 weeks or so that we might have had as an annual holiday. But when we decide to retire from working life and consider coming and living in Southeast Asia, that's a bigger holiday, so to speak. And something that we first notice when we come here, even if we've sold everything, the old Studebaker, the old Buick, the old Morris, the old Holden, our beloved car that was handed down over the years, maybe given away, maybe to another member of the family. We have what we have in our suitcase. That's us. That's all we represent. Hopefully with a bit of money in our pocket or bank account and a debit card. Some of us bring along the credit card just to remind us and make ourselves feel comfortable if ever we need it. Whether we have then the money to meet any payments is another thing, especially now that you're on a retirement fund, be it a private fund or maybe even a government, I won't call it a handout, but a government pension anyway. DSS, I think they call it, or Department of Social Welfare, old age pension. But life changes instantly at that point. You're left with your own resources. You maybe have arranged to meet somebody here, somebody who you feel was going to be the one, or certainly you hope is going to be the one that you've given up everything and decided to live a more frugal life here in the Philippines. But remember that the first thing that you will notice is that you no longer have those things coming through the letterbox reminding you that you haven't paid your council tax or your TV license, all these irritating things that come with living in the West, being on the rat race, being on the wheel, so to speak, and how paying rent somewhere or staying with a girlfriend for a period of time, starting to readjust your life. Inevitably, you'll be saying, oh, that's only $3, or that's only $10. Wow, so cheap. Well, of course, the problem with that is there's no reality in that situation, because you're now living on what you have. There's nothing more. But that in itself is a great opportunity to reset your life, to realize the things that are really more important than just all the trappings of success in the West. It's back to basics. It's as if you reinvented yourself. So it's so important that whilst reinventing yourself, that you don't reinvent yourself the way you were before you came here. In the sense that I'm Mr. Big, or I need a four-wheel drive or an SUV. I'm not happy with just a scooter, or maybe using public transport, jeepneys, tricycles. But there's nothing wrong with that, because in the end, they know the roads better than you probably do. And those that have driven here in the Philippines would know how crazy the road rules are. There's nothing wrong with the road rules. It's just those that don't follow them. And you're never quite sure in your rear vision mirror, as opposed to what's in front of you, what's going to happen next. So why not let the driver of the jeepney get you to the safe place, or the tricycle driver to the door of where you're going? It's fun, it's cheap, and it's the way most people travel. It's funny how when I first came here, my friends around me used to think, "Why do you walk everywhere, sir?" Meaning like you have enough money to go on a tricycle or a jeepney or a bus. Why do you walk? Are you poor? The idea that when you walk means that you're poor. Whereas we in the West would think, I'm walking because I like walking, and secondly, because it's good for me, it's healthy. Take in the breeze, take in all the things around you that help to make you understand where you are now living. So don't be scared to come here. Don't be frightened, because you are very rich in the sense that you have a regular money coming in every month. And providing you're not stupid with that money, you certainly will go a long way with a pension here in the Philippines. And your life ahead of you is free of stress. It's free of all those things you left behind. It's up to you now to make it as happy an event each day with what you have, not what you think other people need to see you've got. You don't need, as an example of one of our dear friends, you don't need an orange SUV to show that you're successful. So just think small, think simple, think happy. And I hope you have a lovely day. Bye now.